to solve their problems, and if you have actually solved those problems.
All right, thank you so much for that. So you said, how do we work together?
Yes.
As I said earlier, personality. I'm very huge on values, right? And the values of humility, the values of integrity. There's a way you can reach out to somebody. And I read this book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So there's a way you talk to people. There's a way that you know that, oh, you're hurting somebody by the way you're talking. There's a way you communicate. So that's basically how it is. When I first started in the work today, I greeted my colleagues, how you doing, while we're at breakfast. All these little things, actually, they are the things that will make people want to listen to you. Just that little checking up on them and all. So that's how we plan to work together, listen to their ideas. Oh, I feel that this is not really feasible. Then we get to a consensus. And yes, how to get feedback from the students. Okay, so the things that we have had feedbacks. I think this morning we're chatting in the early hours of this morning, but most of the feedback that we have from students were things that we already know before. Because for students to now talk to us today now and tell us, because now we are here, this is in our schedule. So our schedule is very, very tight. So we might not have, although we're going to clinic today, right? We're meeting with students. So there are some places that we're going to that is actually, if we see, we can still implement some of these things, but not that we are getting 100% of what we want to do today, because it's most of the problems, the issues that we have seen before that we're not here to solve, right? And all of those things. And any issue we see today, we can still even put it in our final proposal, but that's not the bulk of the work that we are. I would like my deputies to answer as well.
All right. As regards relationship from the beginning of today to this present moment, the relationship between us has been wonderful, as everybody has tried to put their hands on deck and ensure that we have a smooth day. And as regards feedback from students, like they say Rome was not built in a day. So we did not start the planning today. None of us here just bumped into this particular position. It was due to proper planning, and we ensured that before now we have reached out to students and gotten several feedbacks from them, so that on that day, which is today, we'll be able to implement some of these things and eventually leave a final proposal for the management to take it off from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding our relationship and how we communicate with each other, well, we're first students, right? And so we've been able to identify each other in the Bowen community. So that has helped us like foster we've fostered a relationship amongst ourselves, and also working together has been amazing. Like Pelumi has said, we're able to listen to each other because we got to this position because we have some attributes that have helped us to work in various capacities. And so we understand the importance of communication, the importance of ensuring that you listen to people and you hear all they have to say before giving feedback. And it has been wonderful so far. And regarding feedback, of course, we've been talking to students before today. We heard all they had to say. We built our manifestos based on this feedback that we received from students. And so today we are here to implement based on the feedbacks that we've received.
Wow, that's very interesting. Now over to you before I leave your side and come to the second deputy. The election process went very okay. I'm asking you now, how was it for you? How was the process? Was it fair enough? Or to you, what was the experience like? Was it as democratic as possible for you?
Okay, so since I'm someone that loves politics, so
Okay.
like this is not it's not the first time I'm running for a position. It was interesting, and there were a lot of emotions involved, right? And more than that, it was about what we wanted to do, what I wanted to do. So at the back of my head, because I believe that many times campaigning for a position, the emotions you feel, it's not really about the people you're even running against for this position, but the people that are campaigning for these various people, right? So it was very, very interesting, and at the center of everything, we still had a very good relationship. We could still communicate with each other. So it was the situation of, if I win, I know that I will get things done, and if she wins, I know that she will get things done, and if he wins, I certainly know that he will get things done.
All right, thank you for that. Now to the second deputy, let me have you hear what you have to say. How was the process of the election for you?
The process of the election was actually really nice, and it is one I would never forget because it has exposed my it has exposed me to what I call grassroots politics. I mean,
Okay.
right from a smaller setting like Bowen University.
Okay.
I during my campaign I had to meet different students who had different ideas. You'd meet some that would tell you, "Oh, I did not want to participate at all," and you just want to get a reason why they don't want to participate in the election process, and they're like, "I don't just feel like participating," and this is just giving me the idea that okay, in Nigeria as a whole, we also have people like this, and I'm actually seeing reasons not to judge anybody before you actually speak to them. And generally, yes, it was hectic. I did not allow my emotions get in the way.
Okay.
Most times, all I used to motivate myself was the reason why I was running for this position, the things I already told the students I was going to do. So the whole goal was, okay, get there and deliver. And even if you do not win, make sure that you are convinced that you have given this the best shot.
All right, thank you for that. And before we go on a short break, one Vice Chancellor has something to
All
say.
right. Yeah, I just wanted to make some balances, basically,
Alright.
so that my words will not be misunderstood.
Alright.
So, based on the feeling as the first female one day VC, I don't feel like I'm a working success like that, quote and unquote. I basically feel the responsibilities of what I have to do. So I don't see it as I've made it in life and all of those things. So it's not about the first female. I think I said I don't feel special. I don't really see it special, but it just happened to be that when I ran, I became the first.
Okay.
But that's really not the goal. It's actually to cause change, to make changes in the system. Not the first female. Those things are not really it. It's the results that counts, not the title.
Okay.
Yes,
It's the
thank you.
results that count, not the title. Over to you, please.
All right. I would also like to say that the process in general was free and fair. The school ensured that this was conducted in the best possible manner, and so far so good. There has been no complaints from any of us as regards the election process. So kudos to the persons who organized this, and kudos to Bowen University for giving us this opportunity.
That's a great one. Now we go on a short break. We'll be right back very soon. Back from that short break, and now we move to Elder Samuel from Tribune. He has some questions for our visitors, our champions this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. Samuel, there is my name from print industry, specifically the John Tribune. Yeah, congratulations, our Vice Chancellor.
Thank you.
I'm happy to meet you for the first time. I just want to ask you this question. Suppose, you were once a student of this campus before you became the Vice Chancellor.
Yeah.
What change do you want to effect during your tenure? Then secondly, you have met the principal officers, you've had a meeting with them. From there, I want to deduce what is leadership applied in management. Leadership. What's your definition about leadership? That's my second question. The first one is, what change do you want to effect as the next Vice Chancellor of this institution during your tenure? Knowing that you are once a student, you must have come across many challenges. What specific change do you want to effect during your tenure? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for that question. Okay, so I said that the change I want to effect is basically to improve the well-being of students. And I said well-being is in several facets. So I was the one that invited the guy that spoke at chapel today. He interned at Bank of America as an undergraduate at UI, Chevron, and Nestle. So he came from Lagos yesterday to come and speak to the students, to Bowenite. How did he get this opportunity? It's part of this career development that we're talking about, right? How to optimize their LinkedIn and all of these things. And also, we had a meeting with the director of works, because I'm very huge on welfare of students. They can't read comfortably. They can't even do academics if they're not comfortable. If there are odds and all of this. So we had a meeting with the director of works to discuss about some places that need repairs, because these things actually affect the welfare of the student. And there are some overall, when it comes to infrastructure, because I've been to several universities based on competitions for Bowen University. I was at OEU in last week. So I know that in as much as there are more students there, but there are some key structures that I believe that Bowen University still needs to have. So including all of these things and also putting a time to it. Not just that we will do it when we're more students. There's something about when there's a vision, there's going to be a provision. So you're working towards that. And again, we're talking about the opportunities committee. Some people don't know what to do because they're not informed. So a platform, that was the main purpose of bringing this person, that to tell people that you can get internship, to tell people that even where you are, you can start getting global internships, informing people that these are opportunities in place. So they have several for same thing to staff student relationship. These are also the things that sometimes impede the welfare of students. So let's say lecturers and students having clash. There's some PCs, I'm going to call some a PC today and the provost today to just discuss about this issue, because what's happening in these departments, why is it that the students are complaining, to improve the overall welfare of students in several facets, educational facets, life after school, when we're talking about career building, talent development, because it's not even just book that is making it, that people are used to make it these days, right? Talent, content creation, social media influencing, the structures in place to help build students, so improving the welfare of students in several facets, not just the basic concept of welfare, of food and all of those things, not a mediocre perspective. Thank you, sir. Then the second one, he said, what is leadership applied, right? Leadership, okay. Basically, being the leader is, just as Professor Joshua Ogunwale said, he said, is the first among equals. So that's a serious word, right? Because it shows that you're the first, but you're still among equals. That means that everybody has the equal right to give an opinion to something. Most times, what you just have to do is to moderate and ensure that they reach a consensus. But everybody's idea and opinion is valid, because at times even the vice chancellor might not see things in the right perspective. That's why they have special advisors, this that, just to ensure that they reach a consensus, and also ensuring that the values of the opinions of everybody, the ideas of everybody is brought to the table. We look at what is best, not being too rigid, and basically that servant attitude is more like anchoring and not bossing everybody. So let's do this. Iyanu, I think you should work on this. Pelumi, I think you should work on this. Anchoring is more like anchoring and not bossing or lording over people, to ensure that everything is in place, and cost checking, looking at everything, delegating when it's supposed to. Basically, I call it anchoring and not lording. Anchoring to get the best out of whatever outcome that we want to have.
All right, thank you very much for that. Now, quickly, I want you to talk on your specialization, being a finance and an economics person, right? Now, as an enthusiastic world finance and economics personnel, what are your thoughts about the recent fuel subsidy removal and its effects on the Nigerian economy? Just briefly.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so the thing is that the subsidy, that's why I'm very huge on values, right? I'm very huge on values, the value of humility, integrity, basically relating with people well, being selfless. Because subsidy has been paid for till July, right? But immediately, as Tinubu said, there's nothing you can do about it. Everybody, the price was increased, and it has affected people, and it would increase inflation, like the inflation rate. And Nigeria is actually on a steady rate of inflation, like that's our steady motion. But this is now going to further increase it, which is actually not going to be fair. But the immediate response, because in the long run, that's the funny thing about economies, there is short run and there is long run. But in the short run, that we can quickly feel, and in the long run, you might not be saying that, okay, maybe there will be positive effects, maybe the government can now put that money from subsidy into something more productive. But that's even if it's in a productive thing. But the short run effect is the fact that things will be costlier, and to affect the standard of living, it will affect how people live their lives and all of this. So the short run effect is not good.
All right, thank you very much. Do you have anything to say, John? I'd love to hear you as well.
All right, thank you very much. As regards the fuel subsidy, I'm just going to say that without being sentimental, regardless of the whichever government had made it into power, it was still bound to happen. This is something that has been on since the Goodluck Jonathan era. But what I feel the government should have done is also put in frameworks in place to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. I feel they did not look into the aspect of how Nigerian citizens will survive. I mean, the minimum wage in our country is 30,000 naira, and the average man has more than enough bills to pay, talk less of paying 500 naira for 1 liter of fuel. So I feel they should have done better by reaching out to the public, and also making palliatives so the effects would not be so bad.
All right, Iyanolu, how about you too?
Okay, so like Jonah said, I feel like as much as looking at it in the long run, we might actually appreciate it. But right now, the ripple effect is a lot. So we have, even here in Bowen University, students that used to pay a particular amount of money for cab now have to pay like a higher amount of money, and the way it's looking, it might even increase. Also, if we're increasing, does that mean that because students will continue to ask for more money from their parents, so does that mean that the school has to also increase the school fees? Because in Bowen University we have this 24/7 power supply. These are things that, of course, we use petrol for. So at the end of the day, it's not just affecting, like, it's affecting every single person. So I think it's something that might work in the long run, but right now there's a lot of issues.
All right, as we conclude, I want to quickly ask the three of you. I know you don't know I'm a postgraduate student. So are we, the postgraduate students of Bowen University, included in your plans?
Yes.
Please speak to the mic.
All right. Yes, the postgraduate students are included, but it's not as the level of inclusion is not like the undergraduate level,
Okay.
right? Because most of the educational issues we want to tackle, so I want to call it particular provost.
All right.
I want to call it PC. That's undergraduate.
Yes.
But when we're talking about issues of repairs, infrastructure, it should affect the undergraduate, the postgraduate students. But the center of our emphasis is actually undergraduate. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Right now, we'll bring. Do you have anything to say again?
Yes, I do. I just have one final question, and that's for the three of you. So, Okwemi, the VC, you're in your final year.
Yes.
Iyanu, you're also in your 400 level, final year, before you move to Booth. And John, you're also in your final year. So that means that the three of you are actually graduating.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk to the three of you as a whole, because I do not consider just Okwe as a one DVC, but I consider the three of you to be one single administration.
Yes.
So my question is, what legacy do you want to leave from this post, from this position? As you're leaving in this office and you're leaving Bowen University, what's the legacy you want to leave for us?
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so today, to the glory of God, I got awarded Leadership Award from Bowen University today. The legacy I want to leave is actually the core value of Bowen University. That's GEL, right? Godness, excellence, and leadership. And it is not even that Bowen imposed, no. It's become my own value, right? Something that even after Bowen, GEL resonates with me, right? So that's the legacy I want to leave Bowen with. And the legacy I want to leave the one day VC office with is basically impact. But when all these things, a result-oriented service, such that when people see, I've seen me after being the one, not that they'll be stoning me and like, yes, this girl actually did. That's why I had to invite one of my friends from Lagos to come see this thing I'm talking about. Even right now, today, we're not here to waste time. Thank you so much.
All right, quickly, in as this doesn't sound too important to you, I want you to please give a word of encouragement out there. Being the first female one day vice chancellor, what encouragement would you give to female counterparts, females like you, on attempting or participating in stuff like this, in roles like this, in male-dominated positions like this?
All right. The thing is that one is to discover yourself, know what you want. So there are several things that I know that I will not do it because that's not my sphere. So there is a place of understanding yourself, understanding what you want to do to impact the world. That's also something that resonates with me, maximizing my potential and helping people maximize their potential. So you must have a vision statement, and believe in yourself. And God has helped me in every single thing. In every single thing I do. So that's the person that will actually help you get your motivation from the Lord. The Bible says that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So regardless of male or female, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens. Especially now that I'm talking to women, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you and the Holy Ghost, and you can change the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And here I say a very big thank you to our three champions this morning: the one day vice chancellor Oyelaki Okwemi from economics, Ajayi John from law, and Akinloye Iyanolu from medicine and surgery. It's such a great pleasure to have you here this afternoon. And yeah, we've come to the end of this exclusive interview with our one day champions. I would like to acknowledge our acting head of IPPR, Mr. Avila, then our engineer, Mr. Dakwa, our console, Mr. Henry, and the lecturers and staff that have helped out in the process of the one-day Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Ife Christie. We are saying a very big thank you to you. I am Grace Oye Bamiji.
And I am Adu.
And before we go, we appreciate the media personnel and visitors from Tribune here. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, no, please hold on. Every other person can. Sake, please.
What are you playing, please? Hold on. What's up?
Bowen Radio.
You play some.
No. Good.